On Thursday morning, Jerry Springer's family would confirm that the talk show host passed away, and with it, we would be left mourning the loss of a man who brought so much joy and laughter into the world. Hi, I'm your host, Stacey Taylor, and today I'm counting down the top 10 secrets Jerry Springer took to the grave. So what was your favorite Jerry Springer moment? And let us know in the comments below. Starting off our list today in the number 10 spot, we have cancer. After Jerry Springer's family shared that the daytime host passed away earlier Thursday morning, following a brief illness, People magazine would then publish a report, and in it, they would say Springer's passing came from the result of battling cancer. With a family spokesperson and longtime friend Jean Galvin also telling NBC News that Jerry passed away from pancreatic cancer, Jerry's longtime friend and religious leader, Rabbi Sandrod Kobnik of the Valley and Temple in Cincinnati, also told People magazine that Jerry's illness was sudden. When he said he hasn't been sick for a long time, he passed away from cancer, and he didn't have cancer for very long. After describing the former Cincinnati mayor's nature, Kopnick also went on to note that Jerry had a kind and generous personality, and he wasn't really best pictured in his show when he said there was so much more to him than the Jerry Springer show. He was very, very smart. He was a remarkable family man, and he was somebody who understood what it means to pay it forward. With Springer being known for hosting 27 seasons of his talk show, he also headlined the reality series Judge Jerry for 3 seasons and even briefly served as a judge on America's Got Talent. He also was the 56th mayor of Cincinnati in the 1970s before pursuing a career in media. Being a man who never really lost sight of his roots, he understood the great fortune that his family had escaping Germany, and he will be deeply missed by millions of people all over the world. Number 9. Love for hateful groups. It seems like the only people who get more airtime on the Springer show than jilted lovers seem to be the members of certain Malaysia groups. And none of us could really understand why. Maybe it's because Jerry wanted to use his platform to help the members of these so-called audiences feel better about themselves. Or maybe he just had a deep love and understanding for the people he brought on the show. But after the second instance of the show giving the people the attention they were so clearly craving, everyone involved in the incident really should have found themselves giving the boot from the show. These episodes would cause so much drama that an altercation in one episode even broke out after the group members walked on to the stage. It should have been enough for the show's creators to realize that these conversations just weren't okay and they needed to cancel the show. Hateful groups like this don't just appear on talk shows, so the fact that Jerry had extended his privilege to bring them on the show and make them feel welcome really made a lot of people question what his real motives were and why he was so obsessed with interviewing people from Malaysia groups. Hey BTS fans, are you liking this video so far? If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you never have to miss out on what I might just cover next. And seriously, let me tell you, the next videos have some major tea, so you definitely don't want to miss out on them. Number 8. Scandalous life. Back in 1982, Jerry Springer decided to try to take his political career to the next level by running for governor of Ohio. Unfortunately for the star, his campaign was plagued by a major scandal in which he was accused of having an inappropriate relationship with a woman on the streets during his younger years. To his credit, Jerry did own up to the accusations and apologized for the mistake, and he then went on to argue that acknowledging the truth and embracing the matter was a sign of his honesty and maturity, demonstrating that he was still fit to run for office, as this didn't reflect on the leader he could be. As bold as his attempt was at altering the message on this matter, it still wasn't enough to sway the voters of Ohio, and he ultimately lost the race and never made an attempt to run again. Number 7. The game plan. Have you ever wondered why Jerry Springer's guests on his show always managed to get in such dramatic altercations? Well, if so, then you may or may not be surprised to learn that it's more than just a mere coincidence. It seems like right from the show's inception, Springer made a conscious decision to ensure that there was always going to be some kind of explosive battle in every episode to avoid the show becoming just like another talk show. Even if you thought the show's unique platform for crazy spectacles might just be viewed by some as an opportunity to lie for the sake of getting attention, you would be right. Well, at least you would be in one case, when 3 individuals who appeared on the show admitted they have completely fabricated their stories stories about a continuous love triangle just to get on TV. I guess it's true when they say in Hollywood you really do have to fake it till you make it. Number 6. Banned in the UK. Being a celebrity can come with a heavy price, especially when your show has been known to cross some boundaries. Every year a handful of celebrities will either find themselves being banned from going to certain countries, or they will have their shows making a ban list, which many celebrities just honestly look away and carry on with their days. But this move can really affect your career, especially when angry parents find out that their kids are watching your show. So in the early 2000s, the United Kingdom made the decision to ban the Jerry Springer Show from being shown during the daytime on any school holiday. The ban would come after an excessive number of parents complained that they did not want their children exposed to the show's subject matter, which is honestly a fair statement. I don't know if you did this or not, but I used to skip school and pretended I was sick just so I could watch Jerry say "You are not the father" and watch an epic altercation occur on the stage. And if my parents knew that I was doing that, they probably wouldn't be so happy. But honestly, the show was wild, but maybe that's why we laughed so hard when it came to it. Number 5. End of the line. To this day, many people have never noticed that the production of the Jerry Springer Show was actually quietly cancelled in 2018. And if you did notice, then you know no one really said anything to why the show was being cancelled. Now I can only imagine that the show's controversial segments were finally met with cancel culture, as a show like Jerry's could never really enter into the television world today because, let's face it, the American Pie days are now over. It also could be because this is when he was diagnosed with cancer and decided he would be leaving the show behind to spend the last moments with his family. Although everyone involved with the show chose not to publicly announce the development or make a big issue out of it in the media, the show would eventually confirm that there would be no new episodes going forward and that they would just be playing reruns and previously unaired stories going forward. And now when we see his show pop up in air, we're really going to remember all the things he brought to American television. And seriously, we're really going to miss Jerry as we already miss him already. Number 4. Daughter. Although Jerry Springer's on-screen life consisted mostly of being entertained by the shenanigans of others, his off-screen life isn't all fun and games. One of the biggest struggles in the host's personal life is that he had found it hard to take care of his daughter Katie, as she has some severe physical disabilities. As for Katie's entire life, she has been both deaf and blind. Despite having a difficult challenge ahead of him, Jerry and his wife have always devoted themselves in every possible way to taking care of their daughter, by allowing her to live her life the fullest. And they never were the ones to allow anything to affect this or allow their daughter's disabilities to hold her back from achieving anything she wanted to achieve. With Katie being Jerry's inspiration, she even once convinced her father to compete on Dancing with the Stars, where he placed 5th. And the two had such a close bond, to the point Jerry kept Katie's disability a secret from the world most of the time because he didn't want people to treat her any differently. She even made Jerry a loving grandfather after she got married and had a child. Number 3. Film industry. Jerry has many careers in his life, from being a mayor to a talk show host, but did you know he even ventured into the film industry at one point in his career? And the colossal flop Ringmaster was not Jerry's only foot into the film industry, as in 1999 Jerry even got the chance to play a fictionalized version of himself in a fictionalized version of his show in the classic comedy film Austin Powers' The Spy Who Shagged Me. Naturally, the fictionalized version of The Springer Show was actually pretty close to the real thing, with the movie showing 2 characters getting into one giant altercation on the not Springer Show. It totally ended up being The Springer Show, but I mean, how could you not make a fake Jerry Springer Show and not have it resemble the real thing? Because if you didn't, it would probably confuse a lot of people. But at the same time, this is when we realized that if a movie was able to convince us that we were actually watching the Jerry Springer Show, then maybe, just maybe, the show was all staged. But I'm gonna let you decide that and let me know in the comments below. Number 2. Burden. With Jerry Springer and his family choosing to keep the star's battle with cancer hidden from the public so his health struggles wouldn't become a burden to many of those who cared so deeply about him. TMZ would soon publish an article where they would claim that Jean Galvin, a rep for the Springer family, told them that Jerry was sick for months and that he was running through a series of tests but only recently found out how serious his pancreatic cancer diagnosis actually was. Galvin also told the media outlet that Jerry has always been fairly a private person, so he and his family thought it was especially important to keep his cancer private as they didn't want people to worry about him or his family. So Jerry and his family instead shifted their entire focus on aiding with his care, which became extremely time consuming, and Jerry knew that his time was limited, and given the severity of his cancer, he made a point to spend as much time as he could with his loved ones as possible. And during this time he found things really depressing because he didn't want to be a burden to his friends and family, with some friends having no idea that Jerry was sick, and then he went on to do small little things, and his friends say that this is how he was giving them one final goodbye. Coming at number 1 today, we have The Show. Despite how drama-filled the show was, it definitely wasn't everyone's favorite cup of tea, and out of everyone in the world, you would never probably expect that Jerry Springer was actually one of those people. I know, it's a surprise, because he always looked like he was so into everything happening during the filming process that he would be watching certain moments back to back. But I guess that just wasn't the case. Believe it or not, Jerry Springer one time actually even confessed that he never even watches the show himself. While the confession isn't really known by many, he once really did come out to say he's fully aware of how silly and ridiculous his show's subject matter was, and at the end of the day, he only considers his job to be nothing more than a job. But hey, he made a pretty big paycheck doing so can we really blame him for wanting to do ridiculous things to bring in more views? With Jerry leaving the world so unexpectedly, many viewers, fans, family, and friends have flooded to different social media outlets to share their favorite stories of Jerry and how he helped them get through some rough times in their lives. With Jerry filling our hearts with so much love and laughter for decades, it's really sad to hear that he's gone, and I seriously don't want to live in a world without him. Our thoughts and prayers are definitely with Jerry's family and friends, and we're all here for you if you need anything. Well, that's it for this video, and until the next one, remember to get out there and do something you've always wanted to do, because life's too short not to live it to the fullest.